Hey guys, RTT back here for the video. Guys, you guys see on the screen, new iPad Pros with M1-like chipset and Thunderbolt reportedly coming in April. Now, this is one of those interesting things. And the reason why I say this is because there's a whole entire part, I feel like, of people who say computers, like PCs, are completely different than tablets and laptops. And there's this whole kind of mindset of a laptop can never be as powerful as a PC. Now, that has been disproven as lately NVIDIA came out with there was a new laptop that came out with a 3090 in it. So, very powerful compared to a PC. You rock in like an old, hardware, that laptop's more powerful. Now, this is the next question, though. Can a tablet be as powerful as a PC? And this is kind of interesting. So what this actually is the new iPads are coming out in April. Now, it's not going to be an M1 chip in these iPads. That's not the rumor. The rumor is it's going to be M1 chip-like. So not as powerful as an M1 chip found in the Mac Mini, found in the MacBook Pros. It's going to be somewhat comparable to that. Now, when you compare it to the old iPads and how the old iPads are not doesn't have that much power, right? They're not really powerful. And especially if you compare it to like a PC or you even compare it to a MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, it's going to have a lot more power on the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro than a iPad. But don't get me wrong, the iPads have really come up in the last couple of years. They've gotten a lot more powerful, and they, in all honesty, can somewhat be now compared to an actual computer. So, another thing about this is it having a Thunderbolt USB, Thunderbolt, a Thunderbolt port. That's interesting because now you can connect it directly to a display. You can make it a little bit more easier to kind of make it like a MacBook, but it's just an iPad. So my personal issues with iPads, I'll tell you this right now. I have not gotten an update from my iPad since the 2014 model. And the reason why is because I just simply hate the new design. The new design can break so easily. It's so flimsy. I just don't like it. I mean, I like the square design. It kind of looks like the new iPhones like this, but it's just not built, in my opinion, very good. And if you guys look up any kind of videos on new iPads, you can see how easy they break. They literally break. Like if you have it in your backpack and you put any pressure on it, it will most likely break. So I don't like that about them. I don't mess with iPads. But I know a lot of people actually use their iPads in the circumstance you're seeing on the screen right now, where it's like, that with a keyboard. So it's literally like an actual it's like an actual laptop. But the thing is, and I'll say this one thing, okay, and this kind of begs the question, like the Mac Mini I actually did go ahead and recently buy, and of course we have the iPads, is I do like Mac OS. I think it's one of the most cleanest and polished when it comes to operating systems ever, but it is still hiccuping, and not to a level that I feel like we can actually utilize for speed and power. And hear me out on this one, okay? So Adobe, Photoshop, all their Adobe products still are not completely optimized to the M1 chip. They're getting there, they're getting better, but it's still not completely optimized. A lot of other applications, developers just simply have not seen Mac as a real competition or a real reason to push their product toward a Mac environment. So a lot of things are just simply not compatible with Mac. Like, for example, I have an Elgato here that is from, 2016. It's not compatible with Mac because Elgato says that anything past a 1080p, any 4K device, there's no point to have Mac for it. There's no point to have software for Mac. There's no point to really push anything toward Mac. And Elgato is a huge company, but they simply just do not see Mac as a, something that, we should make a product for because people use Macs, might use our products. And I think the same concept applies more and more with other companies, but as they get more powerful, as the M1 chip now has become a thing and the M1X is coming out, I think people are going to start looking at Macs in a different environment. But I think it's going to take a little bit more time for companies to really, develop their products for Mac before we start talking about Macs being, on that next level. Now, on the perspective of, like I said, of these being as powerful, I definitely think it's a really cool thing. I think it's a really, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to go ahead and balance the small, compact design and the amount of power that you're putting into this thing. Because, of course, even the MacBook Pros, whatever, the old MacBook Pros, the 16-inch, if you ever use a 16-inch MacBook Pro, that thing sounds like a jet engine when you're using it. It sounds like a jet engine. And the thing is, they can't put those big fans in these little iPads. And even the new MacBooks don't even have fans. So, again, I'm not sure how they're going to balance everything. And M1X chip is supposed to be run hotter than the M1 chip. Let's just take it as it is, rumors right now. But tell me down below, guys, if this does come out and this is as powerful as, let's say, a MacBook, would you rock it? Would you pick it up? I don't think it's going to take a lot for an iPad to get me back on Apple's bandwagon of iPads, but I definitely will say I'll give it a chance. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.